Yes, indeed. Of course, you caught us snapping there, so we will play over the introductory song for tonight, and then of course we will extrapolate a little bit. We will examine some of the lyrics and of course what they mean, and maybe give a trivial quiz. But I'm not going to tell him as yet what I'm going to do. But let's hear that introductory again before, of course, we start our program in earnest.
Once upon a time there was a magic island full of magic people. Let me tell you a story about their pain and their glory. Oh yeah. Many rivers flow to this naked eye, bringing fear and pain, but also a brand new style. And of all these rivers that shape this land, two mighty ones moved like a sculptor's hand. And today those hands across the land, man, is still landscaping. And there's no doubt we can work it out, there is no escaping. As the river flows, there are those who will change its passage. But every common man got to understand that and send a message. So put up your hand if you understand. Now come, see how we moving, watch how we grooving, see how we step in style. One lovely nation under a groove, the Ganges don't meet the Nile. Them boys with the hidden agendas and the mind.
Well, of course, when you are as experienced as me, you believe you know almost everything. Well, no, well, of course, he was just showing me something there that it turned out that I was wrong and he was right. So I have to confess. You asked me to link, press a particular link, and I said no, it's some other link, but it turned out to be, of course, he was correct. That being as it may, of course, the pleasant good night to all and sundry, east, west, north, south, central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, I want to hear from Tobago, I want to hear from the islands as well. Of course, we will be reverting to the major task, the objective of 40,000 before the program finishes. So, very ambitious, but I think we can do it, having regard to the amount of time that we have been around. And of course, introducing, of course, some new features. My good friend who I saw today, I would only say from San Juan, so you know himself. He said that he has some it sounds like a criticism to me. But whether it is positive or negative, because you know you have positive and negative criticism, I will take it in strides as I've always done. And of course, at the end of the day, the decision is mine just to, of course, either pursue or adapt or tweak in order, of course, to make certain that we deliver what we want. But this particular feature, just about 15 minutes, is designed for young people in particular and for parents as well, because we try to do it unedited and, of course, right in front of the camera, so it's a kind of reality segment, but to demonstrate in particular, let me repeat, in particular and along the East-West corridor, communities such as that which we are in right now, we're talking about East Port of Spain, Lavatil, Beetham, Sealets, etc., so that you will understand that we are all human beings, we will make mistakes, but at the same time, we must be able to do what? To adjust, adapt for the greater good. That is the existential philosophy, or some say the Stoic philosophy, but we will get into that later down the road as we, of course, unfold all of these programs every night. So let's say a little more about, let me ask him first, who is that singing there, Joshua?
I think it's David Roller.
David Roller, yes, that's right, yes. And of course, and he's singing about, well, let me tell you what he's singing about. He's singing about the people of Trinidad and Tobago coming together. And when he talk about the Nile, and he talk about the Ganges, well, the Nile is in Africa, and the Ganges is in India. So if it's coming together of people, what do you think he's saying?
I think he's saying that everybody coming together.
He's saying what?
I think he's saying that everybody coming together.
But what group? What group of people? We have the Nile is in Africa, and the Ganges is in India. Who? Who and who? Who and who coming together?
He's saying the Nile and the Ganges coming together.
Right, but the Nile is in Africa, and the Ganges is in India, and we have people who came from there in Trinidad. So you don't know that? But you don't know that there are people who come from India, and we have what in this country? Indians also. India come from India, and where would Africans come from?
Africa.
Talk hard now, man.
Africa.
Africa, right? Good, man. Stop taking. Right. So what he is saying in a different way is that the Ganges, which is in India, meet the Nile, which is in Africa, and therefore Trinidad and Tobago is comprised of mainly what people? Based on what Rhoda has sung about. What people has come together in Trinidad. Let me hear it again.
The Ganges and the Nile.
Yeah, those are two rivers, but the people we are talking about now. Who are the people he's talking about?
The Indians and the Africans.
Beautiful. That's the answer one. The Indians and the Africans, because the Ganges meet the Nile. The Nile is in Africa, and of course the Ganges in India. And when he is singing, and so next time when you listen to him singing, when the Ganges meet the Nile, he's really talking about Trinidad and Tobago and the two major ethnic groups that assemble here, that meet here, that under different circumstances. We'll talk about that a little later, who come as what, one as slave, one as indentured laborers and so on. But we'll deal with that later down. So I thought it was important to give him that trivial question so that he would, so that you can benefit from it. Remember, this is on script, and I want to do it no other way, because I want you to know that it is all right to be wrong. But when you are corrected, you build on that and you move on to the next experience that you may flounder a bit, you may not be aware, but when you get that in your head, you keep it there. And tonight what we know is that the Ganges, which is a river, major river, with spiritual connotations for or spiritual meaning. I don't want to use no big word in this session. Meaning for the Indians, and the Nile has similar meaning for the Africans. All right. Of course, right now, there is a CARICOM African conference in Ethiopia, and the Nile passes through Ethiopia as well. Yeah, just to pull up the rear, so to speak, and to put it in a greater meaning for everyone. But that means as it may, let's not waste time. What you're going to read for us? Oh, sorry. Make your introductions, and then of course you get to where and what you want to read.
I am kind of still under the weather, but I feel a little bit alright now.
All right.
I bring back the Captain Underpants book.
Okay.
You won't be seeing it again because tomorrow I'm carrying it back.
Oh, you're carrying it back tomorrow to the library?
Might.
Oh, you might. All right. But have you completed it?
Not really.
So you will complete it tomorrow then, before you carry it back. All right. Okay. All right. No problem. Let's go.
Tonight, I see a page in the context, and I want to go to the page because the title like something funny.
Oh, I see. So it's a bit humorous. Right.
Chapter.
So you're expecting people to laugh? All right. Okay. Well, they say You say funny, you know, so I expect that you talk about laughing. But let's hear you. Quick, because we only have just 10 minutes. Again, we have to consume.
Found it.
Okay, you found it. Right. Good.
This title I page is called Extra, 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 Extra.
All that extra?
Extra large on the pants.
Wow. Read that again for me because that seemed to be pretty funny intro and short. Go ahead.
Chapter 20. Extra, 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 extra.
Extra what?
Extra.
Extra large. All right, go
Large
ahead.
underpants.
All right, but that is huge. But go ahead. We have some other parts of it. All right. We don't have much time, man. You just take up too much of my program time, you know. But go ahead. It's nice.
I only want to read the page where it's saying that because you don't want me to
Because I just wear extra large. But look, go and
Oh, I said don't want me to stay on.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to say, all right, okay, short. Well, no, I want to stay on, but short. But go ahead, because we have some other things to do.
Anyways.
Yeah, read the rest of it, and let's complete this segment.
Fluffy and Cheese Ball landed safely in a abandoned alley.
A abandoned or unabandoned? Let me hear.
Unabandoned.
Unabandoned, yes, because once what a vowel comes after a or an, but then you use an. You see, in the vowel, you see. So that's how I know without having to look at it, because A begins abandoned or abandoned begins with A, and therefore I could say that A abandoned is unabandoned. Get it?
You wanna read the book?
No, I don't want to read it. I'm just saying, you said A abandoned. I'm just saying that I found it strange that they will write, if they know the grammar, that it can't be A, it has to be an. And you confirm that it's an abandoned and not A abandoned. That's what I'm saying. And that is because, people, if you know your grammar, when a vowel, name the vowels, I'm here.
A-E-I-O-U.
Oh, A-E-I-O-U. Yes, very good. Yes. People, yes, A-E-I-O-U. And when I'm teaching, I normally will introduce this subject as, hey, pretend that your name is A and your name is E. A-E-I-O-U. And then, of course, they will pick it up and they remember it forever. Not that you learned it from.
I say, and I will say, me being the money like I am, I will say, yes, you owe me money.
Let's continue. Right. So, unabandoned. Yes, go ahead.
Unabandoned alley. You've got to enlarge Captain Underpants so he can find Professor Poopypan said Fluffy.
Said what?
Fluffy.
All right.
The fate of the entire planet is in our hands. But how can we enlarge him if we can't even see him? Asked Cheeseball. Good question, said Fluffy.
And that's it? That's the end of that particular...
So, I kind of guessing who will end it.
I hear you, my friend. Well, let me just read it to make certain that we captured everything as he said. Right? That's just to make sure. Right? Extra large underpants. You know what that underpants is? What's an underpants? Something that we wear on a toy or a piece of clothing. A piece of clothing. All right, okay. Right. Fluffy and the cheese ball landed safely in an abandoned alley. An abandoned alley, not a abandoned alley. Remember that, of course, why they have to say put an before and not a before abandoned, right? We've got to enlarge Captain Underpants so he can fight Professor Poppy Pants or Poopy Pants, or PW, whichever, Poopy Pants. It said Fluffy, the fate of the entire planet is in our hands. So there's these big pants people and the larger pants, as the case may be. All right, and then of course, but how can we enlarge him if we can't even see him? So he's extremely small, clearly, and they want to give him some extra, and they're trying to find ways to get him larger. Ask the cheese ball. Good question, said Fluffy. And of course, that particular paragraph ends there. And of course, we're not going to go further. All right? Excuse me. Sorry about that. So, like I'm coming down now with what they have. Yeah, I need it here. All right? Any parting words, my son? Go ahead. Any parting words?
Stay in stool and do not get sick like me.
All right, okay. And remember, keep facing the camera. I always tell you that because you're coming off when you have this stylish way of bending down and talking. And so you see, my face straight to the camera. You have to do the same thing in order to not, you see, and we lose you. People, of course, sit down right there. Of course, you see in the background, Joshua, when he was a baby, the current Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, is holding him as a baby there. That was about 2015. So he's 10 years now, yes. And here it is. On another picture you will see where he's giving her a picture of himself. Didn't know that he was there, obviously, when he was a tiny tot. He claiming that he knew.
I did.
He claiming that he knew, but some people say that he probably born before time 1 or 2. That of course he was here already and has, as the Hindus say, reincarnated. All right, okay, so let's go straight, of course, to that segment, that new segment, and then, of course, he will make his departure in that process. All right, so stay tuned. Yes, indeed. Of course, we have returned. The background has changed, not to the one that I would prefer. Let me see if I could change. I could fix that. That's not the background that I would have wanted. We try to be as professional as possible. Sometimes, of course, these glitches take place. You know, try to have some people say a CNN finish, but it doesn't always work the way that you want, because, of course, we don't have the personnel and the technical people to do it, so we have to learn it ourselves and then, of course, display it. Let me see if I can get that background that I prefer in this segment, and then we will, of course, continue our efforts to treat with let me see. I hope is this. Not this one, but of course it will work. It doesn't matter. So, pleasant good night once again to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web. Pleasant good day to you. This is the corridor transformation. Of course, as I said, we want to add some segments. We want to add some advertisement as well. Thinking about, of course, doing the advertisement at the end of the program. So if we go close to 10 o'clock, then of course I could leave it running, and you will, of course, absorb. The advertisement will be very, very targeted, and it will be targeting, of course, civil society organizations. We want to tell you about those unsung heroes and heroines and institutions that are doing yeoman service without the recognition and the financial support. But yet still, I see them as Jesus Christ with, of course, the fish and the limited fish and the limited loaf of bread, and was able to feed the multitude. That's how I see them, and that is how I respect them. And I want to make sure that the notion that people go into this business of serving the people, serving their community without a salary, without pay. And there are those, particularly in the civil service, whose job it is to assess and when an application is made by these institutions to properly and not come with any preconceived notions that somehow, because you see, I am talking here not from ad hocism or from what I consider to be chance talk. I am talking from experience, and experience is always the best teacher. Somebody drew to my attention some time ago that, of course, they talk about Alta and Lennox and Joshua and so on. That is hogwash. That is nonsense. Because put them in this situation, I'm sure they themselves will find themselves not just short, but much to be desired. And clearly, such commentary means that they don't understand the purpose of the exercise that they were viewing. And as one person said, well, if that is so, should I say, I don't want to use the word obnoxious, but so offensive, then what the hell you doing watching? So we know that they are playing the fool and being mischievous, and you pay them no mind. Because that exercise just now, what it did, Joshua clearly will never again, even though he may not have observed it, but he will automatically, when a word begins with a vowel, usually is a noun, and when the time comes to place a or an before it, you know that you have to use an and not, of course, a. That is the objective. I wonder if that person, that group of persons knew that before. But of course, they will say yes because we don't have any means of testing them. But that's the point I am making. That these kinds of exercises I relish. Because of course, one who is a pedagogue, a teacher in his own right, understands that. And that is what we do almost every night. And of course, on the ground report, I try to do that as well. So we have a better understanding as to the international benchmark that is required for communicating. Because at the end of the day, we have to put things, whether it's digital or whether it is traditional, writing and so on, writing, handwriting and so on, the same principle applies. The same grammatical rules apply. Let us not waste time. Right? I was, of course, before we came on, looking, and with tremendous pain and ache and agony and stress and irksomeness. Yeah, it was painful to listen to Imp's birth. And of course, the current leader of the opposition, Penelope Beckles, as they shamelessly, but trying, of course, to ingratiate, meaning that trying to entice, trying to bring back into their folds the over 100,000 persons that they said defected from the PNM by appearing to be empathetic, by appearing to be sympathetic and understanding, by having some kind of self-righteous indignation, disposition at this point in time. And I want to tell you, listening to them, the only thing that came to my mind is that a tiger does not change its stripe, and neither does, of course, any animal whose DNA was such from birth or from the composition of its cells cannot change. So a leopard cannot change its spots. So don't waste time with these people and their shenanigans and their self-righteous indignations and their sudden bout of moral and ethical only because they are out of government. Get them back in government, and the level of arrogance, contempt, and distress that they will put on the people will be unfathomable, as we have seen. And if we did not put an end to that on the 28th of April, boy oh boy, we would have been catching our Aunt Nenen and everything else in this country. And they have the audacity, the temerity, the gall, the effrontery, and the bold-facedness, ablum, to tell us that they did better. And somehow, I don't know if they have a brain of a sheep. They say it is flat. Mikey K likes to tell us that they have a brain of a sheep that is flat. Can't think well. They try to condense the almost 10 years of the PNM into the just over 100 days of the present government, and they have made a conclusion. They have made a conclusion in circumstances where the government of the day is engaged in evaluating and, of course, making certain that they lay the platform, wiping the slate clean, so to speak, in order for them to get control of the apparatus, all apparatus of government, in order to move forward. And they are dismissive of the fact that the government is engaged in an exercise to eradicate corruption, nepotism, cronyism, that has been the hallmark and idiosyncrasy, a common denominator of the previous government. And we have been saying that from time immemorial. So what is happening today is a manifestation thereof. And in the face of palpable, tangible, tactile evidence, they continue, of course, to pretend that they love those who they have betrayed, because talk cheap, and then, of course, try to obfuscate, try to deviate, try to pretend that somehow that, of course, those questions that the present government has and has constrained their ability to roll out their planned programs, because it will be reckless, it will be stupid, it will be like a bull in a china shop to just take up from where they left off, leave URP as it was, leave CPEP as it was, leave the other programs that they called out, of course, in their meeting, I think it was yesterday, and just go forward and leave all those political appointees in place. They have the gall to speak. That is wishful thinking. No self-respecting, self-righteous, if you want to call it that, or if you want to call it objective thinker. And any statesperson or any government or party that is in office in the way that we know it to be a change of government, it will be naive, it will be stupid to simply, of course, show a blind eye to all of that. And then, of course, just pursue as if nothing is wrong or nothing has gone wrong. And worse yet, these fools are talking about, of course, Imsbert, and of course, Penelope Beckers, and they don't, or put another way, conveniently, they disregard the fact that the population is discerning. So they're telling us to ignore the basis on which the UNC and the coalition of interests came into government. Because the very issues about corruption, nepotism, cronyism, the manipulation of the institutions of state, the rule of law that have been breached from time to time, the misogynic statements that Rowley and others would make, and the total and absolute contempt for the people. And it's what said it tonight. I'm going to give you a little excerpt because tomorrow night will be a little more, not tomorrow, tomorrow night, no, tomorrow is Friday, but you know what's happening tomorrow and my absence. But on Saturday. But the point I am making is that here it is, they want you to believe that they managed the affairs, and he had the audacity once again, but to be more specific, he had the stupidity of telling us that all of the institutions that the Trinidad and Tobago now embraces and engages for the management of the society was done by the PNM. Imagine that. But of course, just in case you're in doubt, we will deal with it after the call. President, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox.
Night, my friend.
This is Bibo Martin.
Yeah, man. Yes. I'm dealing with some mad people here from the PNM. Yes, go ahead.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
The last 9 years, each input said they were running on fumes. Imagine what a marvelous place the PP government left this country. They're running on fumes, which was, what, 12 billion in foreign reserves and 7 billion in Nigerian stabilization fund. If that was fumes, imagine if there wasn't any fumes, what happened? Because people didn't realize it wasn't for those savings by the PP government. The dire straight enough because the PNM done nothing for the last 10 years.
And thank you for going there because you have saved me some time in going in taking them back to reality. So go ahead, my friend.
I mean, it's just like your father leaves a big bank account to you, and you live off the interest. And you don't know what you're lying whole night, doing the party, doing what they call it now, go to bank, go to. That is what they are told. I don't want to use the word, damn lady. They have left us in a predicament. Lucky, the same government has returned. They understood what stages this country. They will bring back most of the policies and they will improve on it. I'm going in a different direction now. The CBA, Criminal Bar Association. The Brigadier General Admiral Richard Kelshaw, both of them have endorsed the KPB and her minister's governance policy with respect to narco trafficking. I mean, they say the CBA come out strong. He said go after the criminals with full force. He didn't say get them corn, but you know I like to get them corn.
Oh, yes, indeed, yes. As the Americans did. Go ahead.
And
Kelshal, when he was clapping back with one of the mutineers, who he said, and that is a fellow by the name Rafik, who he said has never apologized to the mayhem he caused. Likewise, Abu, remember Abu was screened, eh? I wonder if Rafik was also screened, and he have a Balize juice card. And you know, the Express have him as a columnist, spewing all those wrong statements about the 1970 mutiny. Boy, we're in a sad place, you know, but I have all faith with the ministers and the Prime Minister that she will get us out of it. And I encouraging the Commissioner of Police to continue what he's doing. We're seeing, imagine rapid response. A bandit take a chain somewhere down by the Tobago terminal down there. And I read on the papers, within 2 minutes, they grab the man, they jump in the car, they catch them in on the highway, moving. So that is rapid response. And you say you're not going to put his head in the sand for errant police officers. You're going to do what is required. But as I said this morning, there are two sets of people hindering his progress. He wants to meet the metric of KPB 6 months. The police service commissioners tying the man hand with respect to investigating high person in the leadership. I mean, they say when they tell Erla go on vacation, let her do the investigation when she was arrested. They should do the same thing with DCPI and I, to let it take 5 days or 10 days, let the man thoroughly investigate it. And all of those other policemen who's causing friction, because the defense minister wouldn't have made his utterance if he's not getting signal as to what's going on. Because the whole day of policing, as I continue to say, in the leadership of the police, and we have to watch them carefully, because they were not faithful to their own vision, protect and serve with dignity. They called KS Daddy, and they were elevated into the leadership because they drinking Balize juice. Go on.
Yes, man. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. And of course, while she was speaking there, one notion came to my mind, because of course, suddenly they have this air of they can manage, and they have managed. But I was making the point before the caller came in, and of course, it is usual, well-researched position, and of course, making some statements that the PNM will consider to be conspiracy, or so vivid, so conspicuous, that they will prefer to see it as conspiracy theories. But that being as it may, this is no conspiracy theory, however. When Imsbert, in that meeting in Diego Martin, said that the PNM, every institution in the country the PNM created, etc. No. Let's assume that there was no PNM. I'm trying to be as granular, but as realistic as possible, and of course, to show where these people have to be consummate backsides. Because every country in the world, no matter what political system that they operate, communism, dictatorship, democracy, etc., must have systems in place to deliver to the population, to its population. They must. Which country in the world? Because if you leave it to Imbert and them, they will tell you it's the PNM. We'll put that there. Which country in the world doesn't have a Ministry of Finance? Which country? Which country? But he is saying that the PNM put that in Trinidad as if it is unique to Trinidad. Which country in the world doesn't have a sports ministry or some institution to treat with sports, or some institution to treat with their medical issues? Which country in the world that doesn't have institutions or mechanism to deal with the collection of garbage, the construction of roads, infrastructure, dealing with their rivers and their waterways, dealing with transportation, dealing with agriculture, dealing with cultural matters, dealing with, of course, their legal system, whether you call the person the Attorney General, or you call it, of course, the Ministry of Legal Affairs, it doesn't matter which country. You have to be a damn fool to think that what these people are saying, they are not in a state of cognitive and intellectual decline. It is a stupid statement to make, Bert. What benefit you expect to derive by saying that the PNM put all these institutions in place? It doesn't matter whether it's PNM or anybody else. These institutions had to be put in place in order to run a country. You buffoon. You buffoon. You know, it gets you angry when you know that the really and truly is an attempt to insult our collective and individual intelligence. He must tell us which country in the world then, or is it that he is saying that the PNM did the same for Russia, it did the same for the United States, it did the same for any of the African countries? These are fundamental institutions in order to deliver to the people when, regardless of the form or type of political and power system that they operate under. So to give credit to the PNM in that way, it shows a level of not just inaneous, not just obtuseness, not just stupidity, but clearly demonstrating an asinine aspect of these people. And incidentally, he did make a confession at the same time, having of course made those what I consider to be, it ain't even opportunistic, but it's certainly illusionary. It is certainly irrational. It is certainly nincompoopish, vacuous, nonsensical, and clearly designed to do what? To influence or to target the ignorance. And ignorance here doesn't mean aggression, it means lack of knowledge. And they believe that everybody, particularly the 100,000 that defected from the PNM, are that stupid. So he has condensed 9 years plus into 100 days and make it look as though it is a pattern. So he refers, of course, to the displacement in URP, Sept, and so on, so to Penny. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at the track record, you see, they said and they emphasized that the 3 or 4 times that the PNM lost the government, they came back. But what they did say is that in those times, people were summarily dismissed. And let's take this call. Let's take this call on the handset. Yeah, I have developed a mechanism for that. So let's take the call on the handset, and then I'll further elaborate. A pleasant good night. Welcome.
Hey, Lennox, good night.
Good night, my friend.
You hear me good?
Loud and clear.
But I hear you talking about madmen.
Yes.
Remind me of when I was going to school. And yeah, a joke we had. Two madmen in the hot sun stand up arguing. One telling about the next one, die the moon.
Right.
And the next one said, don't be stupid like the sun.
Yeah.
And a fella come in and they call east. They say, partner, hear this stuff. I tell him east also, so he telling me otherwise. What do you think? He said, my what? I don't live wrong here, you know.
You say what?
He said, I don't live wrong here, you know.
He said you don't live wrong here. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Yes, very good. Yeah, but that song like Rowley and that song like Innsmouth, and they have gone totally mad.
Yeah,
Because what is obvious to all of us, and including those who they're trying to bamboozle,
Why to repeat it?
they alone believe that they could hoodwink people in that way. And it's so damn obnoxious and so damn, what I consider to be inhumane, frankly. But go ahead.
I hear your friends and them gone man too.
Who's that?
They'll see what you get.
Yeah, good man.
Teachers in Trinidad.
Well, birds of feather flock together, you know, and therefore both in physical and in thoughts as well, even though that is abstract. But go ahead.
Teachers in Guyana, Trinidad, and America.
Yeah? Well, yeah, that's madness, yes.
Now you know they have certain stages of madness, eh?
Yes, for sure.
You start off slow, and people watching you and they guiding you and say, boy, you are here. But PNA went clear, went mad. Total
Yes.
mad one time, boy. They went past through those stages, you know.
Yes.
They went slam bang mad. Now after they go in court, man, they put in them in court. Papa, you happy with girls?
Oh, Manning put them in court for that. I'm coming back to that after you finish, so you will get a clear idea as to what is happening here. It's really madness and a show of what I consider to be defunct, once was, fake. That's a fake power. They're trying to salvage something that never existed, and want to impose that on the population, particularly for those gullible that left them in groves, over 100,000 of them. But go ahead.
They're trying to remain relevant, but I don't pass them already.
Yes, that's right.
They could never be relevant again.
Yes.
I could believe this thing when I see that on the news. I'm not saying I like people, but I don't like ghosts.
Oceans.
Like the ghost gangster.
Right.
I like people, but I don't like ghosts. She's talking about the ghost gangsters, you happy and all that.
Yes.
So when they go to court, and you see have all the proof, eh? I'm not never have all the proof. What they go to court to do? I'm sure that the judges that the judges and them don't know the matter. They're going to make themselves damn fools to sweet weather.
Of course. That's the idea.
I should have called them backside. I use them people, boy. I forget you want tonight, I was watching cricket.
All right, okay.
It's my chance. I say, well, wait now. What if one of them here what Lennox had to say? Boy, Lennox, boy. A country must have our opposition, but it can't be them, boy. It can't be them because them ain't no kind of opposition at all. And I don't think they will ever come get back in
That is
opposition.
one of the problems that we faced in the
Some other
last
party will come from behind them and start a party, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get more traction than them.
Right.
I never believe that PNM is going to be destroyed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you always used to tell me that
Yes, yes, yes.
that they're going to be destroyed just like in
Yeah,
Nigeria.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, they have imploded, and now they have exploded, and the 12 plus 1 have lost their way in entirety, and it is not surprising in an attempt to ingratiate and to fool and to deceive and to hoodwink. You hear Penley Beckers made a blatant and unapologetic sorry in that meeting in Diego Martin. I was waiting for that. You know, at the beginning, she never said a blatant sorry. She'd always go round the bush. But she realized that of course, their currency is now further being devalued. So she has to come direct and say, I'm sorry. But before that, she was saying that we lost our way. That is not sorry. That does not equate it to sorry. But now she said blatantly but she conditioned it. She said if is a conditional term. If we have done wrong, meaning that it wasn't necessary that we did wrong, you may have interpreted wrongly, and therefore of course, but if we did, sorry. That's what she said. So it's a conditional apology or sorry. That will not work in these enlightened times.
She told us in the meeting.
Huh?
She told us in the meeting.
Yes. I'll bring it on Saturday. Saturday I'll have time to edit properly and all of that. Yeah, she said that. She said that. So that is on top, as I said, on what she said before, because she was reluctant. She evaded going direct. Now when she realized that, of course, people ain't taking them on, she now has to go direct. But as I say, the epitome, the quintessential element or display of madness is when, of course, all of them are attempting to condense 9-point-something years into 100 days. I mean, that equation and that assessment has to be because of the collective buffoonery that all of them are now plagued with. Go ahead.
That come from the madhouse.
Yeah, direct from the madhouse. Direct from St. Anne's.
Initially, she had said, not in the meeting, but they had lost the way. But
Yeah, she said that. And she said people go vex with her. And she said this, she followed up, we are sorry, but also followed up, she prefaced that statement by saying that people go vex with me, but so and so and so and so. What do you mean by that? If you are genuine, you cannot condition or you cannot preface. You have to say a genuine sorry. When Kamala Prasad Bissessa said that she will follow God in front, and that you will have no other lover of you as Prime Minister than me, you could feel the sincerity. And you could see the demonstration of sincerity. It's only the PNM opportunistic political parasites who have been defeated devastatingly are trying to tell us is the opposite. But there is consistency with Kamala Prasad Bissessa, not with them, and we're going to talk a little more about it after, of course, we present part of what Imbert said.
But they had a big crowd in that meeting.
No, the usual octogenarians, the people about 80 years and and so on, and persons who are sycophants. And what they did, they kept the cameras away from the audience as well, because you see, people would be coming there saying, well, listen, I could get victimized. I don't want to be seen with all you, but I'll come just to make up numbers. You have all that psychological stress and burden people are engaged in following these people.
Well, Lennox,
Yeah.
if they want to come back, they have to go back where they start. Where they start in the PNM party, go back to Port Road.
But there's no if about coming back. There is no coming back. They have been relegated to the dustbin of history.
Well, I'm showing you how mad it is.
Oh, all my days. Right, I hear you, my friend. All right.
The business started was in
Yes.
When
Yeah.
they go back, they just very big stone on. They very some big stone on thing this time on.
Boy, it is simply an insane scenario.
And then the media does really give them a good coverage.
Yeah.
But which is good because when the media coverage is with them, they total.
Well, I saw him quoted from some media entities as well, because they too are in a state of almost perpetual delusion. Yeah.
Yeah,
They are trying to give credit where there can be no credit. The absence of credit, credibility, viability, and political prowess. Absence of all of that.
Remember this story with the three stupid people?
Yeah.
They up on a rooftop there and everybody with no feeling of fall down on them. Well, it's very fall down on the beer them and all the supporters. You know,
I hear you.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't remember all of these bad people, you know.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that them are like everybody.
Yes.
And you might have one of them.
Yes. I'm sure that others would want to come in.
Once again, I have to call the wife to get through to you. I don't know what they want.
I hear you. I'll take a look at the latest after the program. All right, thanks. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, people, of course, the line is open, 337-6940. Don't forget once again that we have converted our annual back to school exercise to one that is perennial, meaning that we will be doing it throughout the year because we have observed, and of course in human circumstance, just as law and in human evolution, nothing stays static. There is always dynamism and change. The physical world has shown that landmass doesn't stay static. It moves. But let's go straight to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Yes, man. You're not coming across clear at all, boy, and doubt is my system. Go ahead.
You hear me now?
Very
You hear
good
me
now,
now?
yes. Yeah, very good now, yes.
Nice. No, I say I get vexed when I hear say Penny say she's sorry. What she sorry for, boy? No, what tell me? What she sorry for? They mash up the economy, high murder rate, property tax. So that's what she apologizing for?
But watch me, and if you talk to Imbert, those things that you just said, for which she said she's sorry, he would say that they never existed, you know.
Well, let me give you this one. I need to see it. Emily Elias,
Yeah.
Rowdy good friend.
Yes,
He
yes,
said
yes.
Imbert was the worst finance minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right. I read that as well. When he was proposing
Well, yeah.
moving
So
the
that tells you all.
exchange rate to $9. Yes.
Yeah, that tells you all. But
Yes.
I see somebody trying to
Yeah,
call this
something
Saturday
come
night.
out, so yes.
Saturday night.
All right, thank
I
you
say
very
coming on
much
Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you very
No,
much
I
for
say
giving
coming
me.
on Saturday night.
Yeah,
You coming on Saturday night?
yeah. Coming on Saturday night, man. We can't miss
All right.
these developments, man. So we talk Saturday.
All right, I'll call you. I'll
Okay
call
then.
you then. Right.
Okay then. Bye-bye.
Right.
Yes. Caller, sorry about that, but I cut you off, hoping that you will be on the system itself so we get a better reception, one, and at the same time a better delivery, and therefore would be much more convenient for all to, of course, absorb every syllable that you would want to, of course, share with us. So, so call back, caller, I know that you were calling. I was getting the handset notice or ring, but I cut it off in order to, of course, accommodate. And the caller that was on the system was very gracious to say, well, he realized that there's a call coming in, and therefore, all right. So you can call now. But I was making the point with respect to Imbud. But let's hear him confess as well, because of course, according to him, it's the PNM that created all the institutions in Trinidad and Tobago, and that's a fact, and so on, so all kind of hogwash. All right, so it's clear that I have to go here. All right, let me go here. All right, right. So that's it. All right, a pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Yes, good night. Yes.
Yeah, I listened to your program tonight, yeah?
Yes.
And I had a laugh, you know. I had a laugh at that statement. I watched the Martin meeting.
Yes, okay.
And that statement that you're talking about that Imbud made,
Yes.
I had a laugh, you know. So, listen to this, eh? Prior to 1955,
Yes.
so Lennox O'Reilly organized Trinidad's first Olympic committee.
Right.
Trinidad and Tobago have participated in 16 summer Olympiads and 4 winter Olympics after that.
Right.
Now, we participated in more than 4 Olympics so Lennox O'Reilly organized the Olympic committee.
All right.
That was prior to 1955, eh?
Okay.
That was before the PNM came into existence. I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
So what is Mr. Imbud talking about? Prior to 1955 also, there was two boxers, right? One I think was from Point, and the other one was from right here in San Fernando.
All right.
One was a boxer from Point, and the other one was I can't remember, but we used to be talking about those two people when we were growing up, and that was true. And they put Trinidad on the map, right? And that was true. That was even before Eric Williams came to power.
Yeah, if you listen to Imbud, that is not a revisionist perspective, but that what you just said never existed. Is when the PNM come into the government. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. And listen to this one.
Yes.
You have a stadium right here in Marbella.
Yeah.
Manny Ramjohn Stadium. Right?
Yeah.
So since I small, we were hearing about Manny Ramjohn.
Uh-huh.
That was probably in the 1950s or somewhere that he put Trinidad on the map. And I think it was for athletics or something so. Right?
Yeah.
And all of that was before even Eric Williams came into any existence.
Mm.
So, when I say Eric Williams, I mean the PNM came into existence. So, Imbud, I don't know. And there's much more than just the sports, because Trinidad and Tobago was into all kind of things. Let me just go into the steel pan.
Yeah.
The pan was even invented before even PNM came into office. And there were people involved in the culture, in the mass and whatever since 1920. So what I'm both talking about that? So the PNM.
Well, Kola, I want to tell you go to the top of the class, because I was waiting for somebody to generate the pre-Eric Williams, the pre-PNM period. So it is clear that they would have inherited these institutions of which Imbud claimed that is the PNM created from the colonial authorities, because to run Trinidad and Tobago prior to independence, they would have had to have a ministry or an entity responsible for finance, an entity responsible for culture, an entity responsible for relations, health, etc. Yes. So this man is a blatant and unadulterated, what I say, mutilator of the truth. Mutilator of the truth. Go ahead.
Let me even go further.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Yes, man. This is the debate.
Huh?
Go ahead. This is the debate. Go ahead.
San Fernando Hospital.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, the old one was, we know it, right? But there was one before that, right in the back of where
He really feels that people are stupid, and he is playing to that 100,000 that left them, who they believe that are total nincompoops, and that they will not, of course, investigate or gravitate to people who are in the know, so as to dispel and as to render null and void and of no effect and fictitious those statements that he is giving his party credit for, of which he is a part. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, even, let me even go.
Go ahead.
If it's slick, like in both for that, PNM for that down there.
Yeah, well, if you listen to him, your natural conclusion will be that them created the pitch lake. They created the pitch lake because, I mean, come on. Yeah? Wait, what would you say? That is how mad these people are, and Mr. Tagariga's absolutely correct.
They're not thinking before they talk.
Exactly. They're just talking for talking's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you try to condemn before you shut your trap and wait for a solid opportunity? You're just preempting, so that people see all you as not just devious, not just paranoid, and not just obsessed because all you're out of office. Because he said it in Diego Martin. We're gonna deal with that in a while. So we know who they are, and every day they are demonstrating that it's all about power and the abuse thereof, by trying to accuse others of that abuse, for which they have become famous and have executed ferociously over the last 9 years and point something years before the 28th of April. Go ahead. All right. Look, I know somebody want to get in.
The reason why I tell you the picture, because let us just go, I'm going down now. Let us just
No, we'll have to stop. We have another person coming in.
all right, okay. I'll go with that, no problem.
Yes. I've given him some time. I've given you some elastic time. A pleasant good night. Welcome, Kenrick.
Hey, Mr. Lennox.
Hey, man.
Good night.
Good night to you as well, my friend.
Hey, since morning I'm working, I'm still working,
You're still working? Very good,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Very good.
I'm still working since morning. I dropped a large of a whole lot of
Very
West
good,
Country
man.
cheese.
Well-
I just dropped a load there, so I'm going to pack up and...
Well, from your presentation this morning, it shows that you are a man that is on a mission, that you have a vision, and that you are prepared, of course, to execute, and you are doing well in terms of the execution. That is what I gathered from your statements this morning, and I want to commend you for that. And I want to also invite other Trinbagonians, wherever they are, whether they're in Trinidad or elsewhere, to, of course, follow pattern, because tenacity, productivity, having a plan, all of those are building blocks to the eventual success that you will eventually relish in due course. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Lennox. I'm not coming late in the thing here. They're going to devalue the dollar or something? Or just a talk?
Repeat that. I'm getting you kind of in and out.
No, I'm saying that if they're going to devalue the dollar or just that, or
Oh,
just
right, okay.
talk,
Yeah.
or that's, Is that a talk or something?
Yeah. I think in the last part of the devaluing of the dollar, and you said something after
Are they going to devalue the dollar
that.
or no?
Or if you're going to, no. Well, the Minister of Finance told us that that is not so. That will not be on the
Oh,
agenda.
okay, so that's what kind of Ghana because I hear you was talking about.
Yeah,
right?
that is a speculation by persons in the society that have access to the media, and therefore they have expressed their opinions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about. I don't know how you can start listening to that man. He just playing games, man. He got money to burn. He just playing games with other people. And
All
he
of them,
knows that
all
he's
of them,
talking
all
about-
of them. They contribute to emptying the treasury. He was the man who said the country was running on fumes, but inherited over 10 billion US in reserve. And by the time he left,
Right.
it was vacillating
no.
around 4 billion. So he burned up basically 6 billion over 10 years. US.
Yeah, and that burn up it in somebody's pocket.
Well, burn up here meaning that it has been diverted to somebody's pocket because I doubt
Somebody-
he take all. But he can't account up to now for 3 billion.
They all know one another what to do, so let's stay quiet.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree.
Yeah, Mr. Lennox.
Yes.
This morning, I'm a man of fear, listen. And I am man of I think I'm a man of integrity and I do things right way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I fear. I'm very fear. If you are wrong, you are wrong. If somebody doing something wrong, it's supposed to be wrong. But some things is wrong. You know? Like, you know what is going on in Trinidad? You know what, Lennox? I have a lot of compassion for children,
Okay.
especially because the children are very innocent. The children have nothing to do with it.
Yes.
They were bringing to that environment,
Yes.
and I don't like to hear when people bad children because I have kids and I know what it's like.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
so I don't like the statement. You know, and that is very childish.
Yes.
You know, because children, innocent, children don't have no say what the parents do, whoever do. You know, they were dragged into that. So I look at that with a compassion because, so Daniel, you questioned me this morning and
Yes.
I gave you the answer,
Yes.
right? You know, and that is what was going on here, Lennox. And that's a lot of things behind that project.
Okay.
But you know, some things that your friends here will call me that is very disturbing. Like what he said about my job, I live in my truck and eat out of my truck. But
Okay.
he does not, oh, I don't live nowhere. So I thought,
Of course, you make a statement there that brought the busman to my mind when Andy said that he's living in an environment where mosquitoes are rampant, insects, of course, mosquitoes are included,
Yeah.
and then reptiles and other vermins. So I say he living either on a bus in the bush or in some forest. Something to that effect. I mean, you give me that. That came back to memory when you said what you said.
that
Then.
was one fool, he hang himself. The boss man hang himself.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Mr. Lennox.
Okay then.
Yeah, just come to vent a little bit now.
Thanks,
We'll talk Sunday.
Yes, man. Thanks for your
Well,
intervention.
Saturday.
Yeah, where are you
Yeah, all
located? In which country?
I'm in West. I was in Wisconsin. I bring a whole load of Wisconsin cheese. I don't know if you hear about that.
In the United States.
To a customer. A
Okay.
whole load. Whole
Okay.
container.
All right, my friend. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So,
Yes, sir. So that is our mobile, highly mobile, of course, truck or lorry driver, who, of course, does that for his living. He owns, from what we know, his own vehicle and does, of course, trucking for a living, and it takes him all over the country. That is a task, a job that I would like, I would love, but in another time. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Mr. Lennox, and good night to everybody on the line.
Good night,
good
my
night,
friend.
Sharon Tobago.
Yes.
Mr. Lennox,
Hey.
you see lately the Venezuelans and them appears to be attacking Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana.
Yes.
So I noticed, I saw in the news tonight, Madame Delcy, who sneak in here during the course of the night time.
Yeah.
And this wicked big nose of the Prime Minister talking about, and we didn't know nothing, and we didn't know this and that, and Astrovez and all kind of stupid nonsense he talking.
Yes.
Right? Just imagine these people and them so evil. It ain't funny, you know. It really ain't funny. Another thing I noticed too is this TV6 and this CNC3. I see that there's the lighting a fire there, but they go burn in that fire the lighting because they're trying to use that fourth estate to destabilize this country with Venezuela. That's why I'm watching, you know. It's a serious thing, and I see how input put here on the screen there.
Yeah.
I don't understand how come this man ain't get locked up yet, you know. Why he and the other thief and bunch of them ain't get locked up yet, you know. Because he can answer for $3.8 billion. He can answer for that kind of money and all this kind of thing. But I have another thing to talk about, you know, but another time I go talk about it. But right now, I'm very disturbed because I don't understand how these people and them, and I hear Penny talking something that is amazing, you know. Because if you remember in 2015, when Auntie Kams and them lose the election, what did they the following day? They didn't fire all them URP workers. Eh? They didn't shut down the place and do all kind of madness. Look how much workers they fire in South. Right? But them doesn't remember them thing. They only remember thing conveniently. Yes. But anyway, like I say, go to sleep. You understand? I'll go on Mr. Lennox.
Yeah, thank you very
God
much,
bless.
of course. And you saved me some time as well, because that was the very thing I was going to talk about in terms of when they remember they said that they lost elections about 3 or 4 times, as the case may be, and every time, of course, they were beating their chest that they came back the next year. That was the past, of course. They continue to try to make the past equal to the future. But of course, we know that they have died, right? They have imploded, and they now, of course, are resting, not in peace, because they are in a state of purgatory where the souls are not at rest. But the soul, the political soul of the PNM is not at rest. We just have to look at Balize House and understand that. Never again will anybody be trusting of that institution. But the fact is that every time they came into office, they summarily, and it was understood that the administration before and those political appointees had to leave. And if they didn't leave, they would make them leave. I was the vice chairman of the East Port of Spain Development Company, so I can tell you. And while, of course, because the East Port of Spain Development Company is not high on the agenda for replacement, but we stayed there, about 3 months after, and then, of course, the letter came of our replacement, and we had to go so to arrogate unto themselves somehow that they own Trinidad. Remember, we were saying that the only how a person could be that stupid, could be that naive, could be that dunderheaded, to believe that somehow that a new government was voted into office, a new party was voted into office, and they could still control the apparatus of state. You have to be insane. Have to be. These political appointees must go. That is how it is. And to tell us, like the neophyte call Marcel, that a PNM person deserves an opportunity too, because they are part of the country. That is from the page book of Rowley and Manning and them. to give an excuse for P&M operatives, and in their instance, they give them work, they give them the treasury at the expense of everybody else. That is the big difference. No one could be said to be unreasonable if, when the government changes by way of the electoral process that occurred on the 28th of April, that all of the political appointees must go and should go. And I want to commend the government because they did it faster, even though it is still slow, 100 days, but faster than they did when they came into office in 2010, because 3 years gone in the 2010 scenario to 2015. 3 years went, and for the first time, European workers was gathering to take the government then to court because they had an expectation, because they were left there for too long. Now that they get the matching orders, they want to believe that somehow somebody was harsh to them. That is the blasted risk that they took, and they did not jump ship. They did not gravitate to the UNC, and therefore there could be no consideration of them because they have made it very clear that their position is that of a P&M activist, and therefore because the P&M put them in those political appointed positions, they have now become redundant, and therefore those positions are vacant. That's not waste time. And they were there on the behest or under the pleasure of the existing new government, and now they don't want them. They have to go. What are you telling me about? They have to go. They have to go. That's not waste time. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox. Well,
Good night, my dear.
I'm watching you on YouTube. I watch caller from Lam. I'm watching you on YouTube, but
Yes, ma'am.
it's still on, right?
Yes, it's still on.
You're
Yes.
talking about European.
Yes,
Kamla, I am glad Kamla is cleaning up all P&M nonsense.
that's right.
And I'm glad she's sending those 200 Venezuelans from prison back to Venezuela. And you see the PNM and them who supporting Maduro, she should send all them PNMites and ministers to Venezuela too. Seeing the like bells.
Well, of course, that is more speculation because they are citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, so they wouldn't be welcome in Venezuela. They have no local standard there, but certainly.
When
we
the
can't stop them from talking. Yeah.
When they land on Venice shores, right?
Yes.
They will see machete waiting for them
I hear you.
as a welcome mat.
I hear you.
But I was talking today about UNC and what UNC is doing. Hey, you meet $12.6 billion in the HSF, and plus ministries had money, right? What all you do with all that money? What you do with all that money? I can't believe you use it for toilet paper, because you could really use it to wipe your mouth. But they had the audacity to stand up and face this nation and still talk. Oh God, man, I want to put you in a dinghy, send him Venezuela. Send him there and send Stuart Young there. I hope we get justice to see these people with silver bracelet on them.
Yes.
And people, URP was for unemployed relief program was at the time back then in my history in school. URP was for people who came out of prison and couldn't get employment. It was a temporary relief program until they could stand up on their feet. It wasn't a permanent solution for them to make a living from it. It's for them to better themselves. Isn't that right?
That's right. It has always been so.
So why
and will always be. Yeah.
Right. So why citizens who can manage better than a person, a guy who came out of prison can't get employment? Why fight them down for? It is a temporary relief program. Come on, people, all wake up. And PNM have all the real stupid. All need to wake up, and the nation need to wake up. I'm waiting to see as red people with red jerseys sailing to Venezuela on a dinghy. Lennox, good program.
Thank you very
Also,
much.
the school books that are the promise. I thought you all wasn't going on the drive again, and I giving away most of my daughter's school books and things.
Oh gosh, all right, no problem, no problem. I'm sure that there are other opportunities, but yes, we have converted it to a perennial event, so we'll be collecting throughout the year. All right, moving forward.
Okay then.
Okay then, no problem.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks very much for the consideration, though. All right.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So everybody noticed, and I think the last caller gave them too much credit. We talk about people considering them. People not considering them. They have lost over 100,000 of their supporters who consider them. So I don't want, as I did during the course of the campaign, let me say it again, see the glass half full, not half empty. Lest you fall into the trap of saying that people, if you're saying people, you have to qualify it. The handful of people, the little bit of people, the reducing numbers of people, that kind of adjective to describe, of course, that scenario, the amount of people I would want to see. I would want to hear. I do not subscribe to the suggestion, and it plays into their hands because they feel comfortable when people say, people listening to them. No. The few people listening to them, the little bit of people listening to them, the little bit of people that they could attract, that kind of description of the numbers of people will be most appropriate, generally speaking, and realistic, because that is what it is. They have accepted that as a fact. But as one of the callers said, that they are totally oblivious to the fact that it is impossible. Let me repeat, it is impossible to condense almost 10 years into 100 days. Let us not waste time. And the way they talk is as if the UNC was in office for 100 years. And who knows? Be careful what they wish for, because it's going to happen. The UNC being and its coalition partners in office for 100 years and counting. Never again the PNM, because it is asinine, it is stupid. But let's hear the madness of Imsworth finally. I don't want to have him suspended there without there is another call coming up, so we have to give way to that. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to you, Mr. Lennox Smith. Pleasant good night to you and everybody on the live. Yes. I just have two quick questions I want to ask. One, is a long time here from research. What's going on with him?
We too don't know. I don't know if he has recluse himself. He's a hermit, because we not heard from him. So, but he's a strange individual. So anytime probably I expect that he will resurface as well. So you never can tell. But he is really too long not to be concerned. But go ahead.
Right, and two, John Jeremy. I want to keep my eyes on that individual, because you see that man, when I hear that man come out from in the cave and say what he had to say and shake up the PNM and telling us say that according to certain, he call them a dunce. I want to believe this man making sure that all the silver bracelets and them being imported from America to Trinidad, they started to lock up these people and them. Not only the handler, that is shackle them on the foot and all too. When we done with them.
I want to tell you, go to the top of the class for that one. No, I want to tell you that in all sincerity, because a caller called earlier and say, well, how come they didn't get locked up yet? Well, in my mind, my response would have been, it's only 100 days. So the reason why they didn't get locked up yet because it's not enough time. So I'm glad that you put it in that perspective. So I want to tell you, you are a genius in your own right.
Right, Lennox. So, locked on and listening. I want to keep you back much longer. Locked on and listening.
No problem, my friend. No problem. Let me see what's the time there. What? Don't take out my glasses again, boy. What's the time? 45. 9:45 people. Let's say Imbert, and let me close off the program because, of course, we should have completed. We started on time. My son was there on time as well and did what he had to do. So let's hear Imbs. Oh, boy. All right, we have another call. We have to take that call. All right, let's take this call. Pleasant good night. Welcome.
Yeah, I tell them I get you back before you go, boy.
Yes, I realize that. Go ahead.
As you go back in the past, you know them come like.
If what?
As you go back in the past.
Yes.
Them come like Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle.
Rip Van Winkle, the man who went to sleep during the course of the War of Independence and so on. By the time he gave back up, he say, when he gave back up, he say, where is Her Majesty? He don't know that, of course, America became a republic, independent. That's just, how he was in the past. Yes, go ahead.
You realize that the front only
Yes. Everything changed.
But then you have with them.
Well, so they are still in a nostalgic mood because that dotishness Imsbert speak. I mean, he doesn't believe that information is at our fingertips. How the hell something Eric William and them inherited, and because they were in office for the longest, you build all the institutions, and these institutions are unique to you. That is the claim you making. You are such an ass. But go ahead, man. Yes.
But I'm not going to make that. So you create the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm creating the ocean. Everything on the UDP and I'm creating. And the next thing we will tell you there's God.
Yeah.
The next thing they might tell you there's God.
Yeah. Next thing they'll tell you that don't be surprised. Because I heard Marcel now having been acclimatized to the dotishness that these people are quoting, of course, this fella who said that who wrote the book First They Came. This German clergyman. He said first they came for the first they came for the socialists, and then they came for the trade unionists, and nobody, of course, came to defend them, and then they came for him, and by that time there was nobody to, of course, raise their voice. Well, he is claiming, listen to this, he paraphrased it by claiming that here it is, the PNM is here to raise the voice. They really raising the voice in truth, raising the voice to low hell and destruction. Yeah.
He's trying to repeat what Kamala and them used to say when they was in the opposition.
Yes.
Right? Well, about Hitler and the Jews.
Yes.
I saw him on this morning. He's a real backside boy.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, a shame for them, and I ought not to be. I should be wishing them more shame, but I don't think they could go further in terms of the ultimate shame.
He was on Marlon Hopkins' program. And all Marlon trying to tell him what could he
they're on their own tangent and hoping that somehow that will generate the traction that they are looking for, when in fact their political currency has reached not just an all-time low, it has gone minus by far.
I don't actually look at that.
Yes.
Because he's a warrior, Lennox.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I think she has evolved into a very shrewd politician. That's someone that I would want on my side at all times. And Kamala is fortunate to have such an individual on her side. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look up Khadija in Spring Village before she gets into politics, you know. Yeah, she was lying up with the people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what kind of victimization? You will get that. You'll get that. It's only people like me who could call a man a rapist and a pedophile for 5 or 10 years, and the man take it and happen to be the prime minister of the country and take it right shoulder, left shoulder. He turn the face, he turn the next side of the face, he bend his head, he bald head, he gets slapped on it, all of that, and take all of that for all that time. and did nothing. Oh yes. I know that he was wishing that something happened to that man who called him a rapist and a pedophile. And yeah, people are talking about, of course, Kid Christopher Rowley. Yes, I'm still talking it. All right, okay. Well, we have to go. It's 45 minutes. 45. Well, it's 9:45. So 15 minutes overdue already. All right, thanks. Let me go quickly to Imsbert. I will not take any more calls, so please don't put me in that position. All right, so hear him, of course, in his mad rant.
One of the problems that we faced in the last election, just like this. Kamala Harris came in almost at the last minute. She couldn't break away from Joe Biden. Joe Biden was already very unpopular. She had to. They asked her, what would you do differently to what Joe Biden did? And she foolishly said, I can't think of anything. Well, she leaves, okay? And we know what happened after that. And we have parallels like that in the PNL. And the parallel I am drawing is the absence of democratic decision making.
Wow. He was at the top.
Absence of this democratic decision making.
Wow, in the PNM we talk about, you know.
Properly analyze why we lost.
When there was the government, you know.
We made stupid mistakes.
Yeah,
in 1995, in 2010, and in 2025. Stupid mistakes. We did not connect with the people and make decisions based on consensus coming from our base and from the general population. That's our weakness as a party. That is our weakness. We don't listen. Stick break in our ears. I ain't ashamed to say.
Wait. Let's start again. Let's play it again. No. We can't play it once. Listen to this manner.
Problems that we faced in the last election, just like this. Kamala Harris came in almost at the last minute. She couldn't break away.
So you mean that Short John can't break away from Rowley?
She had to. They asked her, what would you do differently to what Joe Biden did?
So you're throwing Rowley under the bus now?
I can't think of anything. Well, she leaves, okay? And we know what happened after that.
Just as
parallels like that in the PNL.
NH International.
The I am drawing is the absence of democratic decision making.
He threw Rowley under the bus, just as Elias threw Rowley and he under the bus.
Absence of this democratic decision making. You see, if you properly analyze why we lost that election, we made stupid mistakes in 1995, in 2010, and in 2025. Stupid mistakes. We did not connect with the people and make decisions based on consensus coming from our base and from the general population. That's our weakness as a party. That is our weakness. We don't listen. Stick break in our ears. I ain't ashamed to say that.
Boy, oh boy. And in that same meeting, Saturday, we will of course look at it when Penny said
That is one of the problems.
that she apologized. that she apologized. Without any conditionality, but of course she said if we will look at that meticulously, analytically, to see if these people are sincere or they have gone stark mad. Have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless, and see you on Saturday night, when of course we'll continue with these and other issues. Barring of course no unforeseen that will prevent me from coming back right here, with of course Joshua, yes, he wants to be on a Saturday as well. I don't know if he has a work ethics like me, but it appears that he is sharply developing a similar ethics. But that being as it may, let's go back to where we started, of course, and as we said, the Ganges meet the Nile right here in Trinidad, but of course a reference being made to the Indians and the Africans. The Ganges being, of course, a river sacred to the Hindus and Indians in India, and of course the Nile being, of course, of a similar ilk in Africa.
Magic island, full of magic people. Let me tell you a story.
Don't forget, of course, tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Mikey, and myself, as we continue with these and other issues. Bye-bye.
Many rivers flow to this naked eye, bringing fear and pain, but also a brand new style. And of all these rivers that shape this land, two mighty ones moved like a sculptor's hand. And today those hands across the land, man, is still landscaping. And there's no doubt we can work it out, there is no escaping. As the river flows, there are those who will change its passage, but every common man